It may be time for somebody to perform a mental wellness check on Fox News host Maria Bartiromo. Late last week, she did a segment with a sitting Republican member of Congress, a man by the name of Warren Davidson, where Bartiromo actually suggested that Chinese President Xi Jinping is trying to create a baby army here in the United States. Obviously a communist baby army, because, a regular baby army, not so intimidating. Communist baby army, well, then you got a problem. But let me read you what Bartiromo said that has led me, I don't have a medical degree, but I still think this may be proof that she is officially off her rocker. Here's what she said. I want to get your take on who specifically, whether it's the government or the administration, who specifically is working on probing all of these military-aged men who are coming into the country. Do you have any idea who's actually looking at how many people who are military-aged men who are coming into the country, whether it's Chinese nationals or Jordanians or anybody else? Yesterday, Bill Milligan ran into one citizen who started collecting all of the passports that the illegals are dropping on the floor. They don't want to have ID on them when they get apprehended, so they drop their passports on the floor in California and Texas, and this one resident is picking them all up, and he's got a pretty clear idea of who's coming into the country. So she then throws to a clip of, this person who's like, I'm picking up these passports from the, sleeper cell people migrating in here because they're apparently just throwing their passports down. Now, before I get into more of Bartiromo's insanity here, let's take a minute, because she is actually suggesting, obviously, that you have these military-aged men coming into the country and they don't want to be found. So in their effort to not be found, they're throwing their identification just on the ground for anybody to find and look at their pictures and be like, hey, this person's in here illegally. That actually seems like the best possible way to get caught, because now you have a picture of them that if they are in the country illegally, you can put on the news. You can give it to police and say, be on the lookout. So if this person is actually collecting dropped passports, I'm sure there's probably more to the story, because it doesn't seem like something a person on a covert op would do. Like, let me make sure everybody can find who I am by handing over my passport to this random citizen. I don't buy that for a second, and neither should you. But anyway, she continued after showing the clip. So there you go. The passports are right there. They're largely military-aged men. She keeps saying that. Many from communist China. A lot of people worried that Xi Jinping is creating a little baby army here in America. Who's watching that? She asked Congressman Davidson. A little baby army of communist babies. They come out of the womb holding the Communist Manifesto. And Davidson responds, yeah, I was able to ask Secretary Blinken that yesterday when he came before the House Foreign Affairs Committee and spent so much time talking about Ukraine. You would think the United States is in Europe. But I asked him about our own hemisphere and our own border and the Remain in Mexico policy and what we're doing to target the cartels and collect intelligence. He assured the committee that he's collecting intelligence. And at the end of the day, the Director of National Intelligence is responsible for that. We know that the Department of Homeland Security isn't focused properly. And then he goes on about Mayorkas and the impeachment. And then Bartiromo jumps in and she goes, well, I mean, you're on the Foreign Affairs Committee. What is your role on the House Foreign Affairs Committee? I mean, what are we going to do at some point? Turn around and say, oh, wow, we've got 1 million people, military-aged men, and now they're up in arms and they're creating discontent in America? Are we just going to say, oh, wow, look at all these Chinese military-aged men that are in the country? They're like a little baby army. Wow, we missed that. I mean, what are we doing about this? What are we doing about the little baby army? Nothing. But I'll tell you what we should do about the little baby army, Maria, since you are so concerned about military-aged men and little baby armies. So I guess, I don't know. I mean, for her conspiracy theory to work, the little baby army, if you're referring to middle-aged men, or military-aged men, excuse me, I can't believe I got it wrong after saying it 1,000 times. Those aren't babies. So are you suggesting that the Chinese men coming into the country are impregnating Americans to have Chinese babies, communist Chinese babies, of course, and then those babies are part of the baby army? I don't know, because your conspiracy theory is a little weird here. But again, you asked the question, what do we do about this? I'll tell you exactly what we do. You go get on the elevator. You go all the way down to the bottom floor, right? You go through the lobby. You go out those front doors. You pull out your cell phone and you open your Maps app. And in the little search bar, Maria, you type psychiatrist. And then when it pulls up those results, you find the one closest to you and you walk there and you go into the office. You open the door, you go into the office, and I'm giving you very explicit, direct instructions so that you cannot mess them up. You tell the person working at the front desk, I think I might be crazy because I think there's a communist baby army coming to take over the country. And I promise you at that point, Maria, they will handle the rest. So you want to know what to do about the communist baby army in the country? There you have it. Go check yourself into a mental health institution. Hey everybody, I don't know if you've noticed this, but we are closing in on a pretty major milestone here at Fair and Balanced as we approach 500,000 subscribers. But we're not there yet, and we definitely need your support. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, like and comment on the videos and share them as widely as possible.